Why did you choose Umbro?
For me, choosing Umbro was actually an easy choice because Umbro's always been a soccer-specific brand, whereas other companies like Nike and Adidas have kind of branched off and are more well-known for other sports, whereas Umbro's really always focused on soccer, and for me that's what I was looking for most since it's a boot and a cleat sponsorship, and that's what I wanted to use for their products.
What were your expectations as far as products and service going in?
My expectations were pretty high because I had worn the cleats in the past. They always have really well-made cleats, so I had high expectations.
Are you satisfied with Umbro? Why or why not?
I am very satisfied with Umbro. In terms of professionalism, the way they've dealt with me has been great. In terms of products, I think I've been satisfied with all my products. And just in terms of the cleats that I've actually been wearing specifically, I've had no problems with them. I think they're a good, comfortable pair of cleats, and I've had a really good experience with Umbro so far.
How could you be more satisfied?
I guess really one of the only things that would make it something that would be more satisfiable would be if they had maybe more of a variety. I mean, they are really soccer specific, but in terms of maybe having more colors of things or just more of the same, I think they concentrate so much on what products they do have that I think there could be a little more variety.
Do the products provide value? Examples.
I think the products provide value. I mean, I think their cleats to buy in a store would be really expensive, but I think that they last a long time, they're comfortable, and you're not going to have to go looking for something else in the meantime. So I think you're pretty much getting what you're paying for.
Are your needs for value personally changing? If so, how?
I mean, in terms of, no, not as much, because my needs are just to have a comfortable cleat. And now having the sponsorship deal with Umbro, I don't have to worry about buying cleats. And if I do go through them quickly, I can get another pair quickly, which is really nice. But if I were buying them as somebody who was paying for cleats, I think I would be really satisfied because I'd be getting the value for the cleats. They're a little more expensive, but at the same time, they're lasting a long time.
So there aren't any additional benefits that you're looking for that are changing? Anything additionally?
Just in terms of maybe having more of a variety. I think the actual cleats have been the same for a long time. They haven't really changed how the cleats are, and they've just kind of evolved the same, or have not evolved the same, but they've just kind of stayed the same. So I think just in terms of maybe having a little bit more of a variation in terms of color and maybe a little bit different styles.
What influences your decision to choose which products?
I think it just, for me, because I'm using it to play soccer, for me it was which company has the best cleats. The other things, the clothing is nice and fun to wear, but I look for what will be comfortable on my feet and what I'm going to be most comfortable playing 90 minutes or more in.
Are you influenced by what other people say, teammates, coaches, companies? Are you influenced by advertisements?
I mean, I would like to say that I'm not, but I think sometimes advertisements and commercials can be very persuading. But I mean, my teammates all love Umbro stuff too, so that makes it easy. And I think I'm strong enough in what I believe in, that I wouldn't change because of it, even if people had a problem with it.
So do teammates influence which pair of cleats you will choose?
I mean, we could joke around and they might say that a color looks better than another color for our uniforms, and that might have something to do with it. But in terms of actual cleats that I'm wearing, I will go on and decide which ones I'm going to wear based on what's the most comfortable and which ones I can feel that I'll perform the best in. Colors can maybe be influenced.
How much information do you gather before deciding which product to choose?
Oh, I think I gather a lot of information. I think if you're going to be spending money or wearing so much of something, I think that you need to gather information and make sure that you're making the right choice. So you're not going and spending $300 and finding out later that they're giving your feet blisters, and then having to switch. So I think I had already worn Umbro cleats in the past, and the ones that they had sent in the past actually did give me blisters, so I had them send other cleats, which I tried, and fortunately I found a good pair, and so I did a trial basis before I committed.
Where or who do you gather this information from?
From the Umbro representatives, give me most of the information. They send catalogs and flyers. I go through them, but most of it's just a test run that I'm doing myself. I'm trying them out, seeing which ones I like the best, and just kind of taking it from there.
So how do you shop for these products then? In store, online, through a catalog?
For me, the two main ones are probably online and in a catalog. Umbro doesn't really have many commercials on TV, so it would be a little more difficult that way. So I think probably the number one for me was through a catalog. And then kind of doing a trial and error testing and seeing which ones I like the best.
What are some pros and cons of shopping through a catalog as compared to going into a store?
I think pros is that it's fast. You have everything available in a magazine right in front of you. So it's easy that way. I'd say it's easier maybe than going to a store. Cons, I would say, are you can't really see what the product is. So you could maybe choose something and not like it later on. So I think there's pros and cons to both of them.
What risks are there for you involved in choosing the wrong products or wrong equipment?
For me, the risks are big because if I choose the wrong pair of cleats, then I'm going to be playing a full game uncomfortable with blisters on my feet, and I'm not going to be able to perform at my highest level. So when choosing a product, I really need to make sure that they're comfortable in practice and that I'm getting what I think I need on my cleats before wearing them in a game.
What alternatives did or would you in the future consider?
Well, Umbro's my main guy, so I don't think I will switch, but I think that Adidas makes good cleats. I used to wear their cleats in the past. I think Nike makes good cleats too. Under Armour just started to make cleats, which I've heard good and bad things about. But in terms of switching, I'm really happy with Umbro as a product, and I don't think I'll be switching.
So what is your image of Umbro then?
Just that they're a really soccer-friendly company. I mean, they base their whole products around soccer, and that they're willing to work with athletes in what they think will work best with them. So you get more attention that way. And it's sport specific, which I really like.
Okay. How do you see your relationship with Umbro?
I think I have a great relationship with Umbro.
So you said that you think you will stick with Umbro, and why is that?
I think I'll stick with Umbro just because I have no reason to change. I love their products. I think the Umbro representatives are great. They're very accommodating. They've gone out of their way to produce products. I guess a quick example is when I was in Cyprus, one of my pairs of cleats broke and I needed another pair, and they shipped another pair out to me, which I don't think a lot of other companies would do just because of the cost of shipping these days. And I have a really good relationship with the Umbro representative. I think he's a really good guy. So they've just gone beyond and above what they needed to do. So I have nothing but great things to say about Umbro.
Do you feel that Umbro, that good equipment, good pair of cleats will raise your performance compared to maybe another pair of cleats?
I'm not so sure a pair of cleats will raise anybody's performance. I mean, Nike has a whole thing where they have cleats called the Vapors, which they say will make you not make you faster, but it's not as heavy on your feet, so you move faster. But I think really in terms of how you train and how you practice is going to be how you perform in a game. So I don't think I'm not persuaded in that a product's going to make me a better player.
So as far as value, what is missing then from Umbro?
I guess in terms of missing would be just the amount of different choices. I mean, Nike has probably 10 different cleats that you could choose from in a whole array of different colors, and Umbro's probably 3 or 4 in just a couple of colors. So you either really like their stuff, which I do, or you'd probably go looking somewhere else for another product because there isn't as much variety.